Hello, and welcome to another edition of our NAWBO Member Love Live or the Texas Women Mean Business podcast, whichever one you are watching and or listening to today. I am thrilled to welcome to our show Christina Randell, who is the co-founder of the Women of Texas Expo. Welcome, Christina. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh, yes. No, I'm so excited. We were roomies in DC for the NAWBO National Conference, so I know you very well at this point.
Very
But
well.
for some of our listeners or watchers, viewers who may not know you as well, give us a quick little intro into who you are and what your business is. I don't know how many you want to get into. You're a multi, serial entrepreneur. But today, if you want to talk about the expo, I'd love to learn more about that.
Sure, absolutely. So, yes, I am definitely a serial entrepreneur. I started now 7 companies and sold 3 of them, and I'm operating the other 4 right now. But most of my businesses are all centered around finances or helping people with their financial situation find success, and really taking them to that next level. And so previously, a lot of people from NAWBO and from some of the other groups are very familiar with me and my education solutions, helping people with their student loan debt. We've eliminated $65 million of student loan debt for our clients. We have a 100% success rate and had over 800 clients go through the program entirely. So we're very excited. So that's my core business. But out of the nature of that, I wanted to start something else that was not so government based, like do something that was really fun. And one of the great experiences that I got from doing my education solutions was as a student loan expert guru on that topic. I started getting asked to speak around the country to other pockets of women specifically, because women are the number one group that is most interested in finances and getting those dollars to stretch and how to be more fiscally responsible. And when I started going to these different women's expos and speaking to crowds there, I was amazed at what some of the major cities were doing that we didn't have in San Antonio. And after about 2 years of working with the different, owners of some of these big expos, and trying to convince them to come to San Antonio, they said, "Why don't you do it? Like, why don't you do it? If you're this passionate, you do it." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I teamed up with one of my NAWBO sisters, Susan Obregon. She and I worked together on the NAWBO board and ran community events and things of that nature for a couple years together, and said, "Hey, this is my vision. This is what I'd like to do. What do you think?" So we talked about it on and off for about a year or so. And that is what is birthed this Women of Texas Expo concept. It is a 1-day luxury shopping event. We are holding it at the GW Marriott, Hill Country Resort and Spa. And that's kind of like even just choosing the location was really, really intentional, because this is not the kind of event that some, people that like to go to Traders Village, which is great, but it's open air. There's no air conditioning. It's kind of dirty, and some of the different products and services that luxury women, affluent women want are not going to be found at Traders Village or at a flea market or at the Pearl, different pop-ups that they do there. This is really more products and services that are beauty related, fashion related. We're going to have fashion shows. We're going to have free massages, free facials, actually even free lashes now, which I'm pretty excited about. One of the lash academies is giving out free lashes. And as we know, that's $150 a pop. So they're going to be doing that throughout that you can sign up for. And, like different kinds of things, and also services from, financial services to insurances to different types of things that women are going to be interested in, but more upscale. And so it attracts a different clientele, and it attracts a different type of exhibitor. And so we're really excited about it. So far, we are already sold. We've been selling exhibitor booths for just 4 weeks, and we've already sold 1/3 of them. So it's moving really, really fast, and we're very excited about it. The event will be February 7th. 2026, which seems like it's really far off, but it's really only a couple months away.
Mhm.
So we will, continue to, move forward with that. So it is a 1-day luxury event in the ballroom there. But we also have built in, because as we started doing it, You discover all kinds of things when you start any type of new venture. And a lot of the exhibitors, not a lot, but some of the major companies, they already have their trade show booths. They already know what they're doing. We found mid-sized businesses had done some expos before and had some experience. But we also discovered that a lot of the smaller businesses had never done expos before. We found
Hmm.
women that were, getting patents on trademarks on products and services that they have designed and created, and they're working on Amazon contracts and to be selling through Amazon, but they've never sold in an expo. They've never sold face to face, and they would love to have that input from consumers.
Hmm.
So we started now doing a lot of training, teaching, one-on-one coaching. And so now it's turning into an opportunity for us to help grow and direct smaller businesses to who can do their trade show. How should they be presenting their products and services? How can they create a promotion that's really catchy for them? So Susan and I, with our 20, 30-year experience each in this
Yeah.
industry,
Hmm.
of marketing and selling, it's kind of fun. It's turned into kind of like a business coaching aspect.
Yeah.
So we're going to start holding meetings in my office so that, we can have groups come at one time, because we're really saying that there is a void in knowledge on how to market their products face to face and
Right.
helping get over that hump. So it keeps growing and evolving as this is moving forward, but we're excited. This will definitely be an annual event. We're already looking at dates for next year, so that we
Amazing.
can continue it since it's taken off so well so quickly.
Amazing. I love that. I love too that your heart for it is not to, exclude those women who are, maybe so small that they feel like, oh, this is not for me. You're kind of bringing them along and saying, okay, no, you absolutely can do this. We're just going to
Mhm.
give you some extra tools and resources to be ready. And in turn, I feel like that's going to provide a better visitor or attendee experience, because you are putting in that effort to make sure this is how you're going to market, this is how you're going to approach it to be the best possible experience for the people on the other side of it as well. So um
Exactly.
what would you say is, in terms of, starting multiple businesses, growing multiple businesses, selling multiple businesses, what would you say it's Halloween? If you're listening later, maybe you're sitting out and enjoying your candy that your kids have left behind, or what have you. But today is Halloween, so we're gonna dive into kind of the scary part of business if we can. What would
Oh,
you say is some
spooky.
moments? What are some moments that you can think back over the years where maybe you had that fear and you kind of decided to go after it and do it anyways?
Oh my gosh, isn't that like an everyday experience
Yeah.
for an
You're like,
entrepreneur?
Let's talk about yesterday."
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, I think, trying new businesses, trying new ventures, a lot of people do them and build them very, very slowly over
Mm,
years. They take
mhm,
years to work on their business plan and they this and that. I take the other approach. If something is bubbling up in my heart and I feel like I've got to do it and this is the time, I may have mentally done a lot of the research, but, previously kind of thinking through, but I just jump in all feet forward.
mm,
And I'm a woman of faith. And so I also just take things very spiritually. And I just feel if God wants me doing it, I jump in 100% and I just run like a marathon as fast as I can. Because in that process, people start peering that have the answers to the questions I didn't know a week or two ago. And
mm,
the right people pop up with the right moment or have the right bit of information that propelled me to the next level. And so the spooky part is I have no idea what's going to happen. And I don't have all the answers at the beginning before I start. And I'm
mm,
constantly learning through the process. I think one of the interesting parts as well is each business I have, I use to fund my next business. So my success and profits coming from one business become the incubator money that I do to test the next business. And that's a
mm.
very scary thing for my staff because they're just like, wait a minute. They're like, especially the ones that, watch my money and they're just like, wait a minute, you just took 10,000 for this. You just took 50, And I was like, yeah, I said, don't worry, it's coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah.
We're 3 months into Women of Texas Expo, and we were kind of crazy to do it on such a short little, ramp. But I'm like, this is kind of how I operate, and it's fearful, but that fear helps drive me to get up every day and try 100%. Because
Mm,
at this point, I've been in self-employed, running my own companies for over 25 years now.
mm,
Some have been more successful than others. I figured out a long time ago I didn't like being a solo entrepreneur and how to build companies that had recurring revenue. So it didn't matter if I was there every day, the money would always come in.
mm,
And so I started, each company you learn more and more and more. But I think that as well, you have to be willing at all times to take that plunge into something completely new. If you feel in your heart that it needs to be done, something is missing in the marketplace, and you've got a unique fix to fix it, which will provide products and services to, women who love to shop and find out about all kinds of wonderful things that are going on in San Antonio, and women creating great products and services they didn't even know. But as well providing economic development for the community and helping small businesses get a chance to be seen on a high level in the right way so that they can propel themselves and find new client bases. So if you can find businesses that will help everyone in the process, I believe Jim Rohn was my business philosopher that I studied. He's passed away now, but you can still get his books. For years, I studied his material, and he was always like, if you serve everyone else in that process, you will get all the things that you want for yourself if you make your life a service to others. And so
mm,
I've always tried to figure out, how do I create businesses that will serve others and help them, because I'll get what I want out of it, which is success, repeated
mm.
success over and over again.
Yeah. I love what you said about, as the visionary, as the leader, there's going to be times where you have to bring the team along with you and say, I've got you guys. I know that we can do this. Here's the plan. And it
Yeah.
may feel scary, but it's going to be okay. What what tips do you have, if there's some of us that are, getting ready to pivot or make a big adjustment in our business and we're worried about, okay, am I going to be able to convince the team we got this? What are some tips that you might have for them?
Convincing the team that we've got this. I learned something from my Vistage coach, Tom Cuthbert. When we were going through COVID and everything was falling apart, he kept instilling on us to over communicate to your team, over communicate. So I am constantly, probably drives them crazy, over communicating where we're going, what we're doing, what's the vision, what's changing, and keeping them in tune so they always know what's happening. So it doesn't just look like a whirlwind of activity, that everyone is brought along the process. And even
Mm,
if they're not needed at this moment, I'm going to be using them actually like on Expo Day. They're
mm,
all included, and they're all part of that information trail. I hold now 1 week every week where, we started holding once a week meetings where it's all hands on board, everything about Women of Texas Expo.
mm,
And so even if they're involved with the MES business or the Amira business or the AVI business, they are all abreast of what's happening, because my focus right now is 100% on Women of Texas Expo. Well, maybe
yeah,
90%, a
yeah.
little bit on the others, but and I don't want them to feel neglected as
Mm,
well. Like,
right.
okay, does she care about our companies anymore, or like what I do? And so everyone feels a part of, and they know that there's a timeline, and so
Mhm,
everything is very scheduled. There's very strict deadlines, and I think that helps in communication, because then nothing's dragging on.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
over communication helps everyone stay like they're, together as a team and moving forward, or at least understanding why other projects are getting rerouted, because the focus right now between now and February 7th is Women of Texas Expo.
Yeah, fabulous. So if people are listening in and they're thinking about, hey, maybe I could be a vendor, maybe I could sell, walk us through a little bit more of what that process is like to apply to become a vendor. What type of businesses are you still thinking, oh, we really need to find a XYZ? Give us some insight into that vendor side of things.
Thank you. Yes, this is one of the reasons I wanted to come on board.
Yeah.
We still have vendor spots open. So a couple of the categories, We've closed like mortgages. We don't need mortgages. We don't, need any insurances. We don't need anything. We've already got too many people already applying for those. But what we are looking for is if you think you have a product or service that would really benefit for affluent women, like that's a client base that is your market or that you're trying to break into, then this would be definitely the place you want to be. iHeartRadio will be helping us with getting the word out. We're special inviting these affluent women to our event in all the special neighborhoods in town where they live and really making a huge push to bring them out as well as the community in general. But if you're interested in finding out how you can exhibit to them, if you go to our website, womenoftexasexpo.com, there is an exhibitor tab. Fill the form out. One of the team will get back to you. We have now 4 people helping with exhibitors, which I'm happy about, and because we've got a lot of information to share, and so you all can sign up. We're keeping the pricing very low. So that everyone can afford to be in it, in a corner booth or a standard booth. We have some groups that are taking 4 booths at a shot, which is like great. So they are moving pretty quick at this point. But if you're interested, we will definitely work with you. We also are offering a $250 scholarship for small businesses. So if you are a solar entrepreneur and you're making less than $35,000 on your business and you've got something really unique that we really want to have in our show, we'll give you a scholarship. So instead of paying $750, you only pay $500 for your booth. And so that can be a way for someone smaller if you think you've got something really special. But we are looking for products. So we've got, if you make your own jewelry, you make your own skincare, your own beauty line. We've got some people that make their own clothing. That's really, really fun. I'm looking for someone who makes their own purses. Now, we do have some purse vendors that are going to be there that are reselling other things. But if you make your own purses, I think that would be a great exhibitor I'm looking for specifically. And it's just different fun things, things that that women like or need. We've come across some really amazing women that have created inventions that don't even exist in the marketplace. And I'm really excited to see how they do at the event because they have a one and only, no one's got this, and kinds of things. So, it's kind of fun. We also, of course, if you are a service and you cater to women. So if you do financial planning and you focus on women, if you have different, if you're a coach of different types, we've got several coaches that are involved. So we're trying to be careful, but we have like a meditation coach that's interested in being in it. But if you do like time management or planning, I'm looking for someone who has like organizational skills like that. It's like one of these organizational, will fix your closet and your life in a day kind of things. They come in and whip it up. I'm looking for one of those because gosh knows every woman I know needs one of those.
Yes, 100%.
So those are kind of like, we still have a lot of categories we want to fill, but it's moving so fast. We don't even have time to go out and find you. You have to come to us because we have so many people that are coming that we are checking and making sure. We also started doing sponsorships because we had several groups that just came and wanted to give us money to be part of it. So we created a sponsorship program as well. So if you know of larger corporations that are trying to help women economic development, please pass on our information about who we are and what we're doing and see if there's a fit for them as well in the process. But all this information's on our website. So go there first and you can download PDFs. You can download what we're looking for. You can fill out the form and then we can, get you in. And obviously it's a first come, first serve basis. The people that are paying for their booths first have first pick of the litter, where they're going to be. There's also going to be a gigantic stage in the back of it. We already have 4 people that are going to be speakers. One has sold 5 books, is a bestseller, and just an amazing woman. And so we're looking for inspirational speakers. It looks like we may have a fashion show. We're pretty excited about that. We're looking for someone that wants to do like a makeover, like a before and after makeover on the stage.
Oh, okay.
I just thought of, we're definitely looking for somebody that wants to do that. We were talking to a couple different beauty academies right now about that. And so we'll kind of see who's the right fit. But if you are a makeup artist or something like that, and you're interested in doing that, I'd love to have you on the stage. I think that would be a lot of fun. Everyone loves a makeover, a Cinderella moment.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. How do you are, that visionary, that serial entrepreneur, you have so many ideas. How do you narrow down in your gut to know, okay, this is the one I'm going to go after full force? Because I'm sure, beyond the expo, you've probably had 20 ideas since you and I talked about the expo just in June. And you've decided, like, okay, I'm going to pursue these, not pursue these. How do you kind of sift through that if you're somebody who is one of those ideas persons and could be spread way too thin going after a million different things? What do you do to kind of make sure you're following your gut and understanding what direction is going to be have the most potential for success?
gosh, that's a great question. And you just reminded me when I was with you in DC, I was talking about this.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
weren't even incorporated.
Yeah.
I'm already I start talking, and I
Yeah.
start talking to people, and as I talk to them about my ideas, and, I do have 20 different ideas for businesses, so you're right. Um, but if there's one that just keeps making me excited, and the idea of bringing an expo to San Antonio just got me excited. So I
Mm,
keep talking to different people because I'm getting ideas and bits and pieces from lots of different people, and I'm putting it together, and I'm massaging and thinking it through. Um, the probably, part of my personality as a visionary is I see it, I've got it, I can feel it, breathe it, taste it, and I jump into it and start running towards it. I do
mm.
not recognize how that's gonna impact everybody else around me.
Yeah.
And so there was a moment into this, about 2 months into this project where I said, "Oh my gosh, there's no way I can do this. I think I finally hit my limit." Like, I'm
Mm,
doing so much over here, I'm doing so much over here, I'm doing so much over here, and my staff was still expecting me to do the normal things that keep all the businesses flowing, and I
right.
was I was falling short, and I just physically couldn't do it. And
Mhm.
so then it's like, "Okay." I sit down, "What do I need?" And so I start writing out, "I need someone handling this. I need someone handling this. I need someone handling this."
Mm,
And then I go find those people.
yeah.
If they're not
Yeah.
in my immediate group or it's not someone I can pull from my team because they're already maxed out, then I
Right.
start finding those other people, start praying about it, and all of a sudden they just start appearing
Mhm.
in front of me. And then I grab it, and not every one of them is gonna work out.
Right.
Like one person I gave some opportunity to, she just didn't follow through. Great. I then found 2 more that would.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I just keep moving with the different people. But what I do differently, I think, than most, which I would credit of why I might appear more successful than most, is because I fail so fast. Because I'm
Mm,
moving quickly, I'm failing all the time, but I'm also
mhm.
succeeding. And it's all about pushing the football down the lane. And so
Mhm.
the faster I can move and the faster I can make mistakes and fix them and figure it out and then move on, then the faster we all succeed in the end.
Mm.
But if
Yeah.
I see that we're just not moving and we're not going anywhere, then I put a stop to that person or that project and stop that part so that I can put my energy into the things that are working.
Yeah.
Um, I used to a long time ago learned the hard way is, I would try to just make that person. I knew they could do it, but they're just not doing. But I know if I give them enough support and this and that. Now I don't do that. I
Yeah.
give them love. I give them support. I give them an opportunity to show up, and if they don't do it, they're gone, and I just
Yep.
move
Yeah.
on. And that's a very hard lesson to learn. But I've learned if I don't do that, I can't help the thousands of people that need my help because I'm so focused giving energy to one person who really just doesn't want it.
Mm.
And so that's tough, but that's part of being a good manager, and all of us entrepreneurs have to learn to do that, whether it's an employee that's directly or a subcontractor that we're working with or a company that we've hired to do a task. If they're not doing it, you hold them accountable or get rid of them if they're not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, just in general, when you are putting these visions out into the world, if people just truly are not going to be able to get on board, it's okay to just let them go. It's okay to refuse, even if it's not an employee, if it's a friend or somebody who just constantly is kind of poking and digging and saying, like, what are you doing? I don't get it. Like that's okay to just tell that friend, like, hey, we're gonna just stay at arm's length from this point on because I don't need that in my life, kind of thing.
You do if you can control your thoughts, you can control everything.
Mm.
If you believe that something is going to work, you need to surround yourself with people that, even if they don't agree with you 100%, are not going to hold you back and are going to help you talk it through so that you can logically work out what needs to be worked out so
Yeah.
that you can be successful. But
Yeah.
if you're around people who say, oh, that'll never work, then I would normally say, well, then how would it work?
Mm.
And then I
Yeah.
turn it around on them and say, because if they say, well, I don't know how to do it. It's like, well, then how do you know mine's not going to work if you don't know how to do it right? Come on. It's kind of like, hey, either be a part of the success.
Right.
I'll listen to
Right.
everybody's ideas. But then also there's the thing of what success are they having in their life? Have they built
Mm.
5,000 companies? Are they millionaires? Are they where you want to be? Or are
Mhm.
they doing about the same of where you're at? Because
Yeah.
if you stay around them, you're not going to propel yourself forward.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
aren't.
Yep.
You are with the company you keep.
100%. I just we shared a post for a client the other day that was a quote that said, "I don't take constructive criticism from someone who's never constructed anything." And I love the
I
fact of
love that.
we're gonna go with my plan. If you don't
Yeah,
have an idea, if you don't have any, thought in your head of what the other direction would be that we can go, then we're gonna go my direction because
and
I'm
let's try it.
I'm
And if it
taking the
doesn't
risk.
work,
Yeah.
then I'll try something else. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to not keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. All right. Well, you have done such a fabulous job of just keeping the conversation going that we have barely had a chance to touch on NAWBO, which
I
is
know. I was like looking at the clock, like, we've got 4 minutes.
all right.
So,
So, in 4 minutes or less, tell us why you have joined NAWBO. You have such a long legacy with NAWBO, so I
yeah.
would love for you to kind of walk us through that journey that you've taken with the organization as well.
Absolutely. And before I got on this, I was trying to think, when did I start in NAWBO? I mean, it
Mm.
may have been 10 years ago. I mean, it may. We have to go back
Wow.
and check the records.
Yeah.
Um, the first year, I did very little with NAWBO, I gotta say. The second year, I was like, when a renewal came up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna renew, and this time I'm gonna show up for meetings and I'm going to join something. And that within, I don't even know, a couple months, I found myself on the board. Found myself, been charge of all of the, different meetings. And and working on the summit. I think the summit was the first thing I did. And so I worked on the summit, and that was just phenomenal with NAWBO. It was a
Mhm.
one-day event, and we brought speakers in and a team in and coordinating that. And then I started doing the different things within NAWBO. But a lot of the life lessons, when I came to San Antonio, I had started and sold one business at that point. And I moved from the East Coast to San Antonio because I felt compelled that this was the place God wanted me to be. And I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any family here. I didn't have any connections. And NAWBO became that kind of place that I could find out, oh, who's good at this? Who's good at that? Where should I go here? And they helped kind of give me the connections that got me started and have continued to give me those opportunities to partner up with other women who were as excited and passionate as I was about being our best. And, the woman I was 10 years ago in business, or even last year, is totally different than the woman I am today. Because
Mm.
of all the things that I have learned and all the ways that I have changed. And some experiences in NAWBO have been great and some have not been great, but that's okay because we're all people. And,
Mm.
and I've learned how to deal with situations in a different format because a women's organization is a women's organization. And, some people you're like, okay, we're going to do this. And then you don't have time. And everyone's a volunteer. And,
Mhm.
but I have seen this organization grow over the years. And what it's turned into is something I think really beautiful. And where there's women that are really, really trying, and women are stepping out of the home for the first time and starting a business, or they've had a career change and they realize they're just not happy with what they were doing. And they're searching and seeking. And I've found so much nuggets of wisdom because women are really looking at their lives and redesigning their lives in a unique way so that they
Mm.
can be happy and it works for them, for their family, and their financial future.
Yep.
And none of us have it right. And if anyone says they've got it right, they're wrong. They
Mhm.
definitely don't follow them, that they figured it all out. But I
Right,
think that
right.
by being a part of NAWBO, I have been part of Million Up. I have been, hanging out with the startup folks. I have been, looking at all the different levels, those that work for large corporations that want a foothold in NAWBO to be
Yeah.
a part of all the exciting things that are happening there. And you learn from all of them. And all of us are at different stages, and we need to be hearing lots of different voices out all the time to basically kind of like counter us, like, how are we thinking? Do we agree? Do we not agree? Why is it we feel the way or think the way we do? Because as I mentioned, how we think and how we design our lives is completely based off. And I think the success that we have is, what we're telling ourselves within our mind, if we can do it or not do it, if
Mm.
we're capable or not capable.
Mm.
I'd say, 7 months ago, I was incapable of doing what I'm doing now with Women of Texas Expo because I didn't know what I know now.
Mm. Yeah.
And some things I put on and they fit right, some things don't. But NAWBO gives you that chance to meet all kinds of different women, to support each other. I have found it to be an incredibly positive place. I've gotten lots and lots out of it. And I hope I have given a lot back into it and into the
Mm.
other women that are there, in different ways of the mentoring and coaching and helping and sometimes just encouraging.
Yeah.
Some last meeting I was at, one of my former Million Up members, one just needed a hug.
Mm.
She was going something. There was a conflict going on within her office
Mm.
amongst her team, and she's like, "I just need a hug." I was like, "I get it," because she can't ask
Mm.
her employees to hug her,
Right.
and her other friends that work in corporations, they don't get
I
it.
don't get it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's just like, "I'm so frustrated. These are good
Mhm.
people, but they're not getting along with each other. I'm so
Yeah.
frustrated."
Yeah.
And, it's like, Brene Brown moment, it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, let's just hug. I'm here with you at this moment, and it's
Yeah.
going to be okay."
Right. Yeah.
And she
Yeah,
called
that's
me
such a
back a
powerful
couple
thing.
days later. She's like, "Okay, thank you. That was a weak moment. I needed to share it with that hug with someone. Now I've got a plan and, working on getting this resolved so I can, get this bad apple out and get moving."
Right.
And, and
Fabulous.
sometimes that's all we need is just
Mhm.
someone who understands each other, because
Right.
entrepreneurialism, especially for women, it's totally a different experience than it is for men.
Yeah, and to your point, if you don't take the time to process those tough moments and you're just pushing ahead, pushing ahead, pushing ahead, pushing ahead, you will shut down at some point. You will have that moment where you cannot keep, going at the rate that you're going. So I love that you gave her that moment to be vulnerable. Now I've got a plan 2 days later, but in that moment she just needed to have
She
that
needed a
little deep
hug.
breath and be okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if folks are interested in learning more about the Women of Texas Expo, how can they find out more about you?
Please go to our website, womenoftexas.com, and go there, fill out the forms, read the information. If we are not something that you want to exhibit at, or you don't think that your product or service would work, or you don't even have a product or service, but you want
Mhm.
a really amazing, fun day full and support women and women business, please come attend. February 7th at the JW Marriott. It's going to be from 11 to 5 o'clock. There's going to be lots of free massages, free food, free facials, as well as a whole bunch of fun, amazing products. We're going to have activities and all kinds of neat things. So it's just going to be a really exciting day. And, we're just all going to be there having fun, learning and growing our businesses as well as ourselves personally.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we will put all of that in the show notes as well if you are listening to the podcast, and it will be in the comment section of the live stream. So check that out for sure if you are interested in being a vendor or attending the Women of Texas Expo. And if you are curious about NAWBO and you want to check it out, today is actually the last day. If you're listening same day, the last day of our membership drive. So if you join today, you could get a nice little discount on your membership. But regardless, we've got a bunch of fun stuff coming up in November. We have our mini summit gratitude and growth event coming up next Wednesday. So if you would like to attend or check us out, please click on that QR code up above, or scan that QR code, I should say, or head to nowbosa.org. Thank you so much for joining us, Christina. It was truly a pleasure. Always good to see you.
Thank you so much.